Hello, good evening, happy April Fools and welcome to this live stream. The April Fool is... No, I'm not doing anything with April Fool today. I said happy April Fools, I hope you had a good laugh, but I've got nothing this year. Not even on this live stream. Welcome though. Welcome Agent Zero, Reckless Triss, Mr. Twaddleford, Rare Renth, King of the Railroad, and everyone else who is currently watching. How are you doing? Good afternoon all from the UC. Let's build a 10G Giga Coaster. We can call it a chiropractor. I think you need a couple of more G's for that for the guests to feel anything. They're tough bitches. I've worked today as tomorrow we're going to I've worked today as tomorrow we're going to the lab for the male version of IVF. Hopefully we'll get a baby. Oh, good luck on that. Furthermore, under conditions our house has been sold. Congratulations. What exactly is the male version of IVF? Because IVF is that they like... I thought IVF was that they take a female egg, well an egg from a woman and a sperm cell from a man and put them together and then implant them in the woman. That's what I thought. What, that involves both of them. What would be the male version of that, or am I wrong? Is this a quick JS-NG demo stream? Well, I don't think so much a demo as just me taking the opportunity to just stress test some plugins, see what they do, see if it all works. I've updated all my plugins right before the live stream to make sure I've got the recent versions, which was necessary anyway. So that's a good thing. And I'll just see if they do anything wrong and all that kind of stuff. So yes, for those who don't know, OpenRCT2 0.5.0 is finally going to be released quite soon. We've been on 0.4.32 for a long time. Well, 0.4 point something, and we're 0.4.32 now. It's been years since that second number increased. And basically they recently, aka today, rolled out a new plugin scripting engine. Which I don't know much about how that works, but that doesn't really matter. The thing is, they want to know if there are any bugs with it. There shouldn't be, but you know, you can't test for everything. So they would like you to test. They would like everyone to test. So I thought, you know what, I'd take the opportunity. I'm gonna use all the plugins I have, see what they, if they do any bugs. I know one of them does a bug, but that's a plugin problem, so that's not a problem with this thing. Did they ever fix that Twitch names as random guest name that causes lag? Oh yeah, the one that where I screwed up my response to that. That was 2020? That was Ollie. That was not OpenRCT2's fault. That was Ollie's fault. The one who made the plugin. So I don't have that. I don't have any Twitch integration plugin at the moment. I could look at that later. Maybe Sunday. That's still within the testing time. Anyway, we're going to be playing Panda World. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is a DLC scenario for Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, and it comes with the exclusive Panda theming. Hang on, I'm just gonna research shops and stalls because the cash machine is the first shop you get here. So you get the Panda theming. You get a bunch of other themes with this park, but new one is the Panda theming, which is just 3 items. It's a big ass panda with a juicy ass, and bamboo shoots, and the panda litter bin. I quite like the litter bin. I think it's cute. The other 2 senior items are fine. It's just extremely little. This is just 3 items, which I think is a bit weird, but it's still an unofficial scenario. And the reason I chose this is because, first of all, I don't think I've properly played it outside of speedruns. Also, this is a good candidate, of course, for the prize manager. We're on version 1.1.7 now. I've gone up 4 versions. So we're gonna do daily updates. Let's see if it's already worked. Well, 4 still. I don't think the day has passed yet. Let's see what happens when the day... There we go, 1780. Is that correct? Well, Probably. The new scripting engine. Genesis, if you're still here, what kind of bugs would the new scripting engine like could possibly introduce? Because I assume that like getting the price, which is just talks to OpenRCT2 and requests the price. I assume that still works the same. Like that can't be bugged because you've gone to new engine, or could that potentially be bugged? I assume it's more that, for example, enabling toilet price management might just not work at all, or something like that. Let's just do all the shop stuff. So we'll build a toilet. We already got a shop, so let's see what they did for the info kiosk. That seems to work. 70, yeah, that 70 is the minimum price. 20 bucks. I think I did umbrellas in the rain. Did I? Yes, overcharge for umbrellas always. And of course, if I do encounter a bug, I do need to then figure out whether that's a bug with the plugin itself or with what was it called? The new engine. Something. I can't quickly find that and I forgot what it's called. Hang on, Genesis said that. Quick.js, yes. How big is the map? Not very big. But, you know, big enough to build some fun coasters and the like. Now, we're not just gonna stress test some plugins. We're also gonna build a park and some fun things. And the nice thing about this is that we're gonna get the cash machine, so we're gonna be rich. Yes, 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 you can't get to the entrance, you stupid idiots. Just walk on the grass. But yeah, we're gonna get the cash machine, we're gonna be rich, we're gonna load some money to try different stuff. Okay, see that duck? No, you don't. That's a plugin that Max Arceus made. It doesn't do an explosion sound, he couldn't manage that, but it does explode. Both are possible. One thing I've caught in the review was that money is internally stored as a UN64, but in one case it was passed around to the 32-bit type, losing some information. Oh yeah, that makes sense. You prefer the big brown support on the dark path? Yeah, I think it looks lovely. Like, I think that this is so ugly it should be banned. Like that, the brown one too, is ugly. On the ground it's fine. Especially in like a desert or a rock, like rock or sand stuff, but on support I much prefer this. I've seen people say it's incredibly unrealistic because it's just some black sand, black ash, whatever on wood. Which sure, but it looks better. Well, since it can be anything, Genesis, or I'll look out for anything, which I was gonna do anyway. And then of course when we do encounter a bug, if we do, first job is to figure out what's actually causing it. Is it the plugin or is it the quick.js? Oh yeah, the IVF. I saw your earlier comment, but then stuff happened. At IVF they just put a whole lot of sperm cells at the egg. With ICSI, the male version, they put the best sperm cells they can find to hit the egg. Okay, so it's... How did they determine best sperm cells, though? What is best? How does that work? Oh, I should probably build an exit line. First thing to do is figure out how to reproduce. I kind of assumed that that would have been easy, you know, if I try a thing with a plugin and it just doesn't work, just try the thing again. Although, maybe then next time it'll work, who knows. I've seen that happen before. Okay, so people are not liking the Panda coaster. There was a lot of vomit. It's gone now, but I hired like 6 handymen and they all started sweeping. 5 point... Damn, this thing got high stats. That's surprisingly high for a junior. Including the Arxitement rating. But I did not expect 7. I expected like maybe 6 maximum, like 600. Okay, we got the cash machine, now we can research other stuff. Most moving, best tail. I find that hilarious. Like they're looking at like a dog breeder. They're like, who has the best tail? But instead it's just sperm. Ground guest 20. Did he just walk on that little bit of path I built and then I removed it to switch to the better path type and then he drowned? Did that happen? Surely there's no other way that Handyman could have drowned. Well, that wasn't guest 26, who I can't drown. I could drown 126 for you, but 26 has been long gone since before we started. Didn't you have biology in high school? Yes. Even did the final exam in it. 126 works, okay. Duckify Park. I did not Duckify Park yet. I did not do a great... I did not do very well on biology though. I got a 6 out of 10. I mean, I remembered how IVF worked, sort of, so... That's more than some other people will know. Okay, what other plugins can we test? Once we got a lot of money, I'm gonna test the World Painter plugin, so I'm gonna have to leave like at least a corner empty. We could do it in a test pack as well, but I'd like to do it here. Let's see. We got the staff manager, which has been broken for a long time. It was picked up by someone. The version I have is 6 months old, but I believe it still doesn't... No, that was not the staff manager, sorry, that was the bench warmer that was done, but that was still so broken that that I even deleted it already. But yeah, the staff manager, the double ones don't work, but the fire ones do still work. The staff manager hasn't been touched for years, and I even pinged the one who made it like a year ago, and they never responded. It's a shame, because the double mechanic is useful if I need to hire like 2,000 handymen. But let's see, we could, well, the explode guests one, let's just have a look. Where are my explosions? Well, Genissasaur, I found a bug. I think. This worked yesterday. Did exploding guests worked yesterday? It's from Gymnasiast's Everything Must Die plugin. I'm hearing the explosions. We're losing guests. Like, we used to have more, but no, it's not properly working. Hang on, let me see if it works in an older version. I can't do that while I have it. Let me just quickly, Panda World stream. Just quickly. And then get an older version. Let's see if it works in that one. So. Yes! It's working. You see the explosions. Yeah, we do it a couple of times. Guests can't explode in queue lines, so... But yeah, you see it's working, and it wasn't working in the new one. So, that's a bug. Although I don't think this is the newest version of the thing. The problem is I wanted to update to the newest version of Everything Must Die, and then I couldn't find the proper download, and I had like a few minutes before I needed to start streaming. Basically, the Everything Must Die one. If I you know, you click on get plugin. And usually one of there's a third one on top here, which is just the .js file. It's not here, so I don't know how I don't know how to get this to run. It's 4 years old, this version already, so maybe I already have this. What date's my version from? Let's see, everything must die. It's from 2020. So that's older. So I don't have the most recent version, but either way, it stopped working in this version, so it's presumably still a bug with QuickJS. Interestingly, on the ducks, it worked. The explosion was there when I did explode ducks. I don't want to do it right now because we got all of them around, but it worked on the ducks. Oh, huh? Now those were exploding. So it worked on those. Wait, now it's working? That... What? Huh? I'm confused. I'll have to try this out later. I'll just write it down. I'll just write it down to check this out later. Explode the guest plugin. Right. Written that down, so I can't forget it. In the meantime, it's time for a panda. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? It's insane that I caught your stream for only the second time, but I watched almost all your YouTube videos. Welcome, Melissa. You know what's unfortunate? It is April Fool's, right? April 1st, April Fool's. And that is so pervasive that in the announcement of 0.5.0 and saying help us test things, Gymnasiast had to put this is not a joke. Which is annoying, that the fact that he had to do that. Just because people would otherwise think it is. Okay, that's the fastest I have ever clicked on the new ride. I didn't even mean to build the flying carpet. I did consciously make the decision though. I was about to click on the pirate ship, I saw the magic carpet appear and I was like, alright, I'll just build that one. Okay, 1180. I'm not gonna check if those... I mean, they can't be the incorrect prices. They can be, kind of, but they can't be off by like 20 cents. If they are incorrect, I would assume they're off by maybe a factor 10 or something. Factor 2. So, these all look like the correct prices to me. So I'm gonna assume that all works fine. Let's build a roller coaster. Let's build a wooden coaster. Maybe it's because of the classic case of all the ones that were selected were on the right, or other things that might explode the guest. I find that unlikely though, because I triggered it at least like 5-6 times. But, you know, we know something's up. And now it's just up to me to test it more. What's your most used plugin? Let's see. My most used plugin, Explode Guests, is among there. It's very useful when I need to thin out crowds. For videos, for shots, when like there's too many people either visually or it's just a bit laggy because it's in Limit Park with 50,000 guests. Inspect Park Rating is one I use probably more frequently. Inspect Park Rating, I would say, is my favorite plugin. Incredibly useful for videos when I need to visualize whatever the park rating's doing. But also just useful for myself sometimes when I need to figure out what my park rating's doing. It's not... Well, is it slow? I can notice the difference. If you're like at 1,000 guests, you can run at 128 speed. If you're at 1,000 guests with this thing open, you can't run at 128 speed. Although, maybe now you can. But it's never been so slow that I noticed any... I mean, I did notice the lag, but I just closed it. It's never been a problem. Because I never needed to have it open, you know? Okay, instead of doing that ugly small turn, I'll just... make it like that. What other ones do I use a lot? Live write management. Ooh, I can test that one. That one tends to be quite slow. Beep editor, price manager. And price manager I don't use as much as I used to. I have it on right now, but it's not slow. Proximity boost count is a new one. Write editor, stat requirements, never use those. Write ticket, that's my own. That's not slow at all. Because it doesn't do anything until you click on it like that. Scenery manager, I don't use very often. Self-category calculator is not slow. World painter, I never use. So, yeah, it's mostly the informational plugins that I tend to really like. Because they don't feel like cheating. And they just give you extra information. But I'll check the one with the live write measurement testing one. Because that seems like a one that could benefit a lot from extra speed. You know what, we'll use it on this one. Now, it's not slow if you're just at normal speed. That's fine. But sometimes a ride is a bit long. And like, there have been videos where I've wanted to show a ride very quickly accumulating stats. But that wasn't possible. Like accumulating length while being stuck. You know, that's the thing. But that didn't work because the ride, like the live thing would lag if I sped it up too much. So I would have to record for a long time and then speed that up later in the edit. Which, I mean, still kind of worked, but took a bit more time. So if it was smoother there, that would help. A 10 watch streak. Nice one. General reaction. I'll ask you the question as well, Genesisor. Do you have any plugin that you know is slow and you would like me to stress test? Or is that something that you've already got covered? Okay. Live. Hang on. Pause. Wooden roller coaster. Let's just... There we go. Okay, see, it's at that speed still very slow. Even at this speed it's already slow. Yeah. So I'm not noticing any lag at ×4 speed. With ×8 speed it's well significant. Just to show, I can run this without lag at ×128 if I don't have that open. Now, of course, the question is not, is it slow currently? The question is it faster than before? We'll have a little look, shall we? So we save the game. Exit the game. Load up the older version. Let's see how it does. So... This is less laggy. It got more laggy in the new version. Presumably that's a bug. Because this is at ×8 speed, you know, 4 green thingies. It's playable, kind of. Then we go to the newer version. And then this is definitely laggier, I think. Seems laggier to me. Maybe not as much as I initially thought, but a little bit. I'll just write it down. Right. Measurement. Can you maybe open the right window with the same viewport but the plugin closed? So, that. Well, that's not laggy. That's this proper full screen. It looked like it was full screen, but the very bottom right corner wasn't. There was a little grey thingy there. There's fixes I wish they would make to the bench warmer plugin. For example, I'd like to remove the option to remove all benches and bins using it. The option I would like is to not place queueline TVs. Like, I don't have it, so I can't show you, but it just places queueline TVs. There's no option none. At least in the most recent version I had, there wasn't. Okay, this thing is gonna make us a lot of money. We also ran the game at times 128 speed for a while. That also made us some money. What I find interesting about the wooden coaster is that the main color, which is always the left one, isn't really the main color. Which, like, it's just a little bit... On the loop it's the main color. But here it's just the railings. While that is the actual main color. I've got a pick already for which I'm working on kind of order of magnitude improving. What exactly is that pick that you're working on? Did you see the Back to the Future design that was posted on New Element the other day? No, I did not. I shall have a look at that. Not right now, but later. I noticed things that follow up stuff that lag the game a bit. Noticeable with 6 moving objects, windows at the same time. I mean, if you're talking about a few updates ago, maybe that's changed now. Oh, we have no food stalls. Whoops. Also no drink stalls. How about beef noodle stall? I mean, it makes sense that the live write measurements is a bit laggy, right? Because it constantly, every tick maybe, I don't know, has to ask, at least many times a second, has to ask the game what are these stats and it has to update them. We don't need a toilet, we have a toilet, we also don't need an info kiosk. Let's get rid of that. How about a hat stall? We give everyone... What grey? That's boring. Icy blue hats. Yeah, little icons next to the station thing. That's a new feature. Aaron has been doing a lot of work on icons. For example, also in the weather cheats. You got these little icons now, which is like 2 months ago or something like that. If my memory serves me right, at least recent. You know, within the last 6 months, pretty sure. And yeah, these icons are lovely. They make it so much easier to see. I can never find the plane entrance, for example, if I need to switch back to it, because it used to be at the top until OpenRST2 decided that they should be ordered alphabetically, which I think is a good change. It just annoys me because I'm so used to the old. Fire all the staff. ATM, we got one. Fire all the staff. Well, let's see how much puke we get from the Pukinator 5000 Pandemonium. Okay, more plugin stuff. World Painter again is for later. Soft. Well, let's see if this works. 315. This number can't be incorrect, surely. Let's just, I don't know, do a little manual check to be sure. Got my page on the other side. So junior coaster is 55, I think. Junior 60, so 60. Magic carpet is 35, so that's 95. Wooden coaster is 105, that's 200. Merry-go-round is, I think, 45, so it's 245. And that's 250. That's 255, 270, plus 45 is 315. That's what we got, right? Yes. Let's see if it updates when we build a ride. Oh, no, twist. I don't like it twist. Spiral slide, that's much better. Oh, there go all the ducks. It's September now. Surely, I think it'll update the next day. There we go. 355. Yeah, that's alright. Now let's check if it also works on a decrease. So, well, we'll just wait for a ride to break down. Because then it decreases. Or, well, I don't want to close a ride. We'll just wait for one to break down. Ground guest 401. 401 not found. Well, probably I will find it. Would have been funny if it wasn't there though. Ooh, he can be eaten by the last few ducks that haven't left yet. If they don't eat it, then his carcass will have to wait until the next time we get ducks. How do guests choose where they sit on a coaster train? I always assumed it was random, but then started to theorize it was based on their intensity preference. Mr. Twelderford is right. It's random, but with weight towards the front and back. Oh yeah, 404 is not found. 401's unauthorized. Well, I made an incorrect joke there. My apologies. Change your name from Pandemonium to Pukemonium. Well, I don't think that's going to be accurate for too long because I can name this new wild mouse that. Surely this will have a higher nausea. I'm irrationally excited for quarter helixes. Well, you could have had them for a few weeks. They've been in develop for a while, or don't you use develop? Does it make this? Well, it is a heavier train. It's 2 cars, so I'm assuming it will make it. Oh, that looks like it'll easily make it. I only have a run release. I would ask why, but the question is probably just risks, bugs, you know. There was recently a developed version that literally crashed your game if you built it right. Which wasn't good. It was so bad. Like that's obviously one of the worst bugs possible. Only one level below corrupting save files. So that was so bad that Gymnasiast just pushed a fix without having another developer approve it, because it was very, very time sensitive. Usually at least one developer that didn't write or didn't like submit the pull request will have to review it before it gets merged, but this time it didn't. So every coaster will have quarter helixes? No, but a lot more will than had, because it's not a new track piece, not entirely. A couple of inverted coaster types already had them. they did not have normal helixes. They still don't. Had too many problems on develop when I tried to switch back to release to keep working and I can't open the file. Oh, so it's a save file thing. Like, because the save format might be updated. I get you. Well, it should be one. Yeah, okay, so that's one problem, is that it's not in my vocabulary yet to use them. I just don't think of it. And also because they're a special track piece, while the Helix is one that you just, you know, you access easier. This build menu gotta be, the coaster build menu is not very good anyway. It's got to be overhauled, and people have been talking about it for a very long time, but it's also a complicated thing. Not something to be taken lightly. You need binaries. Oh yes, I do. I also need staff. Can I hire staffs? I can hire staffs. None of the rides broke down. I mean, they're all fairly new still. But yeah, lots of litters. Oh, Christ. The magic carpet has done its job. In generating lots of pukies. 5. That's lower than this one, isn't it? 5.4, yes. Well, time to name this one the Pukemonium then. Hang on, be right back, I'll turn on my light. The range, the cord of my headphones is just not long enough to get there. Do you have space rings? I don't think I do. No, that would have been easy. Nah, this thing is of course going to be widely as 20 bucks. And despite having a slightly lower nausea rating than the Junior coaster, how though? How does this have a lower nausea than the bloody Junior coaster? But despite that, it'll still generate a lot of puke. Going to have to drive now, switching away from the stream. Please note down any issues. I will. I'll just note down the plugins and then, you know, I'll remember the issue, but then I can test the plugins later. Know which plugins I need to test. Thank you for being here. Does the Panda train give extra nausea? Maybe? No. Okay, but that does explain the high excitement rating, at least part of it, because plus 15%. And it gives a bit of intensity, but no nausea. Like 5 hang on, or is my calibration sensor just, like, is my sensor for nausea just not calibrated well? Let's see, Mango Muncher, well 3.8, that's significantly lower. It does have quite a bunch of helixes, which are known to give nausea. So that's kind of fair, I guess. Marcel Vos stream is great value. Thank you, Super Austin. This thing is immediately popular. And it's in setting. This is 7.7 excitement rating. Is that the highest in the park? Yes, higher than this one. Reverse trains on a Junior. I mean, yeah, we can do that. We can reverse any train. That's an OpenRCT2 thing. Which did cause some issues. Because trains with, I believe pre-built reverse trains don't spawn with reverse trains anymore. Which is a bug. Hang on, let's just do that. It's ridiculous. I do believe they give like a stat bonus thing as well. I'm not exactly sure. You get higher stats. Well, yes, they do. I thought they would be reset, but no, they're not reset for some reason. That's why I was a bit confused. The 7. That's higher than we had before. The 5.9, that was 5.4. And 7.4, it's now suddenly the highest, the most exciting one. Hang on, I thought this one was the most exciting. It wasn't. This one has 7.32 if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's something in the 6 intensity, now it's 7. Do those count as entertainers? Unfortunately not. I have been planning to build a roof on this queue line for a while. And I kept being distracted. Some more redeemed ducks. So they did. I've gotten better and better at missing teleport requirements, I feel. A more solid roof. People keep distracting you. Yeah, that's true. What ducks? My favorite way to decorate a queue line. Just some pointier roofs and something in between. It always works. They're so good looking though. Just like you guys. So we got 25k. We're making money quite well. Let's advertise a bit. Roman fanfare, please. Nice. Okay, we don't have the Roman theme to spice this up, but we do have fire. Okay. Well, that's a graphical glitch and a half. That's built on the ground behind that. Look. I've seen this kind of thing before, but never this blatant. Well done. Fire and Woody, nothing wrong. Well, the thing about this fire is it's not dangerous because this isn't actually wood, it's just steel made to look like wood. And we all know fire can't melt steel beams. I feel a gold and purple color scheme would be a good fit for the Woody. We could try gold and purple, although this is not a good gold. Still kinda works. I guess we're incinerating guests now. Good thing they're not flammable, just really dense and explosive. It's not guests that are explosive. Well, I guess they kind of are. I was about to argue that the vehicles, but... Okay, this does seem to work like normal now, this plugin, so I don't know what was up earlier. I might have to look back at the footage. Because I'm recording this. I'm recording this in a much better quality than you're seeing as well. That's why the VODs on YouTube look better than the stream does. Because I don't upload the stream that's gone through Twitch, I upload the recording straight to my computer. Guests very much explode on the minigolf. Well, technically, that is not the guest that explodes, that's the invisible vehicle. Okay, Rotterdam's gonna make us not a ton of money. Can you mow the grass, please? Sure. Is there not a way to do this faster? Because this is taking a while. Got more here. What happens if you give them no job? Do they just do nothing? Or is that where it reverses and they just do everything? They literally do nothing. Nice. We still pay you, but you're not allowed to do any work. Isn't that how in Japan they force people to quit? Although it's not just you're not allowed to do any work, they also make you sit in an empty room with nothing to do. And that gets boring after 8 hours. 4 to 5 days a week. Speaking of minigolf, why not build one? Okay, minigolf with the station style. I don't know, maybe it can work, but not here. I'd use it as an opportunity for a snooze. Yeah, once or twice, but weeks on end? 8 hours a day? Meanwhile, in the US, you just wake up one morning and learn that you and 30,000 other employees got fired via Twitter. Do you have a personal experience to share with the room? Or did you read that somewhere? Canvas tent works well, let's see. Yes, it does. It's not as oppressive as the Roman one. Literally just happened this week at Oracle. Like not being able to be not being told in person that you're laid off sounds. I mean, I don't really know the world of work, but that sounds terrible to me. That sounds unethical. Now, I say canvas tents, the work they do, but not with these colors. These colors be go. Orange. Okay, this just looks too much like lava to me. Have we gotten a soft cast cap decrease message yet? No. Then again, not a single ride has broken down since. How have only 2 rides broken down? We're more than a year in. I'm not sure if you've paid much attention but the US is going through it a little bit when it comes to ethics and morals at the moment. Yes, I have heard little bits and pieces of news. I wish Open Devs brought back the OG running cost of the minigolf. It was a fun quirk. I agree, it was fun. Now this one only costs nothing. Oh, it eventually costs something when it's done testing. Oh god, there are so many guests waiting here, because this is always a throttle, these corner ones. Still a maximum of 20, I believe. Yeah, and it costs 46 instead of 200 odd, which it would cost otherwise. The launcher broken again. Well, it was working fine for me 20 minutes ago. So, I don't know. How about Knobs Tower? Damn AI bots. The AI bots are annoying because they have brought down the OpenRCT2 website a bunch of times. Not with malicious attacks, but just by crawling on the website, trying to gather information. And that just being too much traffic for Gymnasiast's server. I'm trying to update it, it fails to update it. Do you have OpenRCT2 running? Because if so, then that's your problem. Is OpenRCT2.io down? Let's see. Nope, works for me. Nothing is running. Well, there's a help channel in the OpenRCT2 Discord server. But this is where my ability to help you ends. Oh, a ride is broken down. Will the soft gas cap updater work? I was about to build stalls. I'm gonna hold that off, just to see if the decrease from the soft gas cap, soft gas cap calculator works. Doesn't seem to work. Oh, it got fixed. Oh, yeah, there's the decrease. But it's already fixed though. How quickly did that get fixed? Surely we should get the increase again. Yeah, there it is. The next day. Well, that works. Okay, I don't need that on. That was just to see if it works. Notify now button. I tried that earlier. That works. Okay, this hat stall is gonna sell pink hats. Always, well, it's not necessary always, but you know, try if you can to put your first 8 stalls opposite your exits, because that's why more people's gonna go in them, and that means less pukerino. It's my advice anyway. Okay, let's see. There and like so. And like so. You go there. Move on the other side of that thing. And then you go in, whoops, forgot one. And then you go in between. Oh, forgot one there too. Should be the pink one. There we go. It's a shame that these, like those two, look a bit too much together for my liking. Oops. But the pattern works. Favorite ride music? I don't think I have a single favorite ride music. I like Summer, I like Gentle, I like Water, I like Wild West, I like Rockstar. Well, Rockstar's a bit overrated. And I like organ style. I like medieval flute style. Candy theme, I like it for the memes. Damn, people even be paying $9.80 for this stupid little mini golf. That's ridiculous. That's completely ridiculous. Little fence around it. Yeah, how about a bit more substantial one? Can't put a fence there, unfortunately. Yeah, that's fine. There we go, now it even looks alright. Yeah, I want smaller trees there. Like so. I still never remember to drag path or fences. Apparently, I don't either. Well, sometimes I do for paths. I know sometimes I need like to... I'll build a coaster like somewhere in the middle of a test park. I need to and then suddenly I need guests on it. I'll need to connect it to the entrance and then... I don't even use it for squares. I just use it for long single paths. But if I'm building paths more organically, like when I'm building a park like right now, I tend to actually build them. So they tend to have a bit more of a shape. Instead of just one long thing. I haven't looked at water rides yet. Let's build a water ride. A flog loom. And we start with a massive drop. Damn, this thing got low support limit. We're in a lake, but still. We're not that deep in a lake. Flog loom sounds like some kind of archaic torture device. Oh, trust me, I can turn this into a torture device for the guest if you wish to. Although, knowing the guests, they're gonna like it. Oops, on the way. There we go. Are we right next to a station? No, we don't seem to be. We don't need a 3-tile station. Use turntables for the flat right pieces. I don't have any flat right pieces. Do I? No, I don't have a single one, I think. So, no turntables. Further section. Oh, I don't got any straight right pieces, straight level pieces, so no room for photo sections either. Evening, Weatherby. God, that just sounds like Professor Slughorn, who can't remember Ron's name in Harry Potter. I think he might... I'm pretty sure Weatherby is just... Didn't you get that from Harry Potter, from him saying Weatherby instead of Weasley at some point? I remember you some point saying that, yes indeed, you got that from Harry Potter. This is also gonna make us money. To be honest, we don't need much more money. We have plenty. Although if we want to properly experiment with the world painter, we are going to need more money. Plus 35k, well plus 25k loan, is not enough. But look at that, the park is getting mown. By our bunch of mowing handymen. Why are you on the paths? You should be mowing. So should you. I guess they're kind of on the paths and can't find anything that isn't mown. I'll help them out. There we go, now they're all mowing grass. That's gonna speed up things by a tad. There was a band called Weatherby, and a character in the Pirates of the Caribbean is called Weatherby. Ah. I think I watched Pirates of the Caribbean 1, like once. And parts of others, like just maybe clips or watch a short bit when someone else was watching or something like that. Okay, surely this is going to be the highest nausea ride. Because any kind of decently sized Virginia reel is going to have at least 6 nausea. The first 3 are right, the original's goated though, yeah. I mean the intro with pirate Jack Sparrow getting off his ship and all that stuff. You know, you're the worst pirate I've ever heard of, but you have heard of me. Ah, you did take the name from Harry Potter, so I was right. Well, either I was right by remembering it, or you never said and I just got lucky. I don't know. Oh, it's Crouch who calls Percy Weatherby. Slughorn calls Ron Wallenby and Wink. Either way, they don't know names. Which country has the most ducks? Do you have an answer for this? Like, surely that's a country with lots of inland water. So it could be Canada, look at a lot of lakes. I mean, Russia's massive, so it could be Russia. I wouldn't have a clue. China. Unless you count per capita, then it's Vietnam. That's fair. What? Do you have any idea why China has more ducks than similar sized Canada or USA? Farming. Really? Or is this April Fool's and you're just making shit up? I don't like that part about April. I like the part about April Fools that people just do funny things. I don't like the part about April Fools that you can't believe everything someone says if it's a bit far-fetched. It's not a joke. Okay, I'm going to assume that isn't a joke. The fact that it's not a joke. So how goes the roller coaster business? Well, pretty good. We be making a lot of money. Although the best decorated ride is the mini golf. But not the most profitable. It's doing 1400 an hour. To be honest, that's not terrible. How is it doing in the greatest? Okay, the merry-go-round is less profitable, but other than that, yeah, it's not great. Yeah, we did have a merry-go-round failure for a bit, but it's fixed now. Do you want to have a rookworst with your message on it? What? Elaborate. S'il vous plaît. How do you all like these gear setups? I know, they're brilliant. They are very realistic, those gear setups. They hurt your brain. Well, it's not my fault that you don't understand physics. Do you want to have a rookworst with your message on it? I believe that was the April Fools from the HEMA. So they said they could do that, but they just never did? Or did they actually do that? Okay, do I have any other plugins to test? Force Visualizer, sure. Let's use it on the Virginia reel, we haven't painted it yet. I think we're doing all forces here. Either way, we don't seem to have a lot of extreme forces. It's kind of a fun paint job, this. Okay, we do have some forces there. That's just lateral G forces. But it doesn't go above 2.1, which is not very high at all. Oh, it reverses back. Oh, you got moderate force threshold, excessive force thresholds. Right. Oh wow, this lags. Look at that. Okay, I gotta look at that as well. Because this might just be a plugin thing, it might also be a quick JS thing, and I gotta compare between new and old versions. Force visualize. I'm gonna do that not on stream. And let's put these really low. We put them lower than the oh, oops, this one needs to go the other way. They're lower than the other one. That's okay. Visualize forces. Oh, the wrong one. Damn it, that one's broken. Why did it reset the one that's using? Alright, we'll have see what we get. Ooh, extreme laterals. Yeah, and we don't get any yellow. Because the way I set it up. This is just a Christmas coaster now. All for okay, you can height supports. Ah, then you don't get your support. It's a shame this paint job doesn't stay around because it's quite a cool paint job. It's a cool way to paint your rides. But it doesn't stay around. Or is there a button for that I missed? It doesn't seem to be. We got inspect park rating, we already tested environment, we tested peep editor, right. Does this still work? Hang on. I'll actually see what we're doing. Okay, slow walk works. Tracking. I'm tracking that guy. Waving. Come on, wave to the boys. Yeah. Painting. Do they even do that when they're not on the path? Yes. Photo, that's the Chris Sawyer guest. Yeah, making photos. Wow! I just think that. Okay, that works eventually. Go back here, you bitch. Hang on. Litter. That works. Lost. Hunger. Well, assuming they weren't already hungry. Here we are. That only works when they're on a ride. Toilet. Yeah, that goes up quickly. This also just seems to work. Explode! Whee! Hey, there go the ducks. The great duck migration of 2. It's currently 2 BC. The duck uprising. Well, they're not really rising up against anything, they're just leaving. Right, we got the new version of the proximity boost counter. Let's see, if we pick a ride. We also have an estimated impact now. Touching ground. Plus 0.13, track over Q. Yeah, we got that there. plus 0.23. Path alongside plus 0.06. Station area senior, well, we got a load of them. Okay, I do wish we could make this big enough so that I could see them all in one bit. You just need to make the maximum window size bigger. That should be an easy fix. So apparently we got 1.59 from excitement bonuses. Now, some aren't really like decorations, as I tend to lump these together. For example, being close to the ground, I wouldn't really call it a decoration. Anyway, I have always interpreted that as being far away from the ground giving a penalty. Because being close to the ground is kind of the default. But the way the code works, and I see why you would give that a bonus instead of the penalty. Okay, yeah, there's still this cap thing, which I haven't asked yet, why there's seemingly no cap for some of these things. Well, this is an interesting one, which seems to work. And this one got a lesser bonus. That one got a bonus from being over water. This one. Oh, it can only do roller coasters. Well, they know that because they put in a specific error message saying please select a roller coaster. Oh, you know what I found quite fun? Is okay, that's not nice. If you close the ride, that picker should no longer be. Does mine do that right? Hang on, if you close it. Yeah, mine does that right. I've no longer have the picker active. Does mine still work? I should test mine as well. The right ticket price calculator, so let's pick a ride. Yeah, that seems... No, that's not accurate. Because it charged 720 for it. I think. No, if it charges 1, it should charge 7. I thought I saw 720 for a bit, but... Maybe some scenery got removed by building all the rides or something. 1760, is that right? Yeah, that's right. 1220. I mean, I tested it, so can't suddenly be wrong. This all seems to work. How about if I build more scenery items? So currently we're on 1220. 1240. That works. This is updated to 1240 as well. What if I manually input my ride stats? So if I give it 79 excitement. Well, 798 apparently. Yeah, then you can charge a lot. Multiple of the ride type. That works. That works. Okay, so that all works. Yeah, I did charge 720 earlier on, but if I just refurbish a merry-go-round, which is so useful. Yeah, $7. So I think I maybe destroyed some scenery by building this spiral slide. Something like that. Probably if I build a few more bamboos. Let's go to 720. Yes. And then the calculator should also... Yeah, 720. The difference between the first and the third price is always $6. So I knew when I saw this charge 1, I knew that the 7 also was correct, because it's always $6. Because it's just plus 10 and plus 30, which is plus $2 and plus $6. There is something endlessly nostalgic about the sound of 4 RCT tracks playing simultaneously in a hideous oral violation. It's not hideous though, it works. It's just the sound of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I like it. Damn, that was a short research tree. We already researched all of the rides we can reach. There's only stalls and sceneries are left. How about a corkscrew coaster? Damn, we suddenly have 116,000. Well, that's plenty of monies. Let's advertise. There we go. Did you ever ride a roller coaster in real life? Of course. Not very many, but I've never been out to a theme park outside of the Netherlands. I've only really been to 3 different theme parks, but I've ridden Goliath a lot of times in Walibi Holland. Okay, surely this is not aligned properly. No. Can we do... Okay, that works. Last night I learned that all the real-life roller coasters that utilized interlocking loops were all corkscrew coasters. I don't think the corkscrew coaster is a real coaster type. It's just... Isn't that just kind of a Vekoma... Or is that a real name of coaster type? Just like a Vekoma coaster or something? Thank you for the 500 bits, Kangi. I appreciate the support. Or is that just called the Vekoma corkscrew coaster type? Maybe it is. Maybe I just don't know my corkscrew coaster types. Did anyone catch a new video by El Toro Ryan on X? What's X? You mean Twitter? I'd only ever known that roller coaster through RCT. It was cool learning about the real thing. Could you tell us what roller coaster type? Because I don't know what you're talking about. How tall is that? 37.5. Kind of afraid of steep turns. Let's not do a steep turn. The multi-dimension coaster. Ah, yes. That's from, what's it called? Six Flags Magic Mountain. Is that still the only one? X2. But all the roller coasters in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 and 1 are real coaster types. There are 2 others. Ah. Pretty sure at the time this game released there weren't 2 others. Pretty sure that was just the one. Look at those quarter helixes, baby! Pick a coaster type for me to build. Well, you got a few to pick on. 10 exactly. Get the spinning cars to our car train on RST1. Oh yeah, that's true. The steel mini coaster spinning cars, they do not exist in real life. This is such a ridiculous finish. I also don't think it'll make that loop, but we're gonna try. I wanted to put in a medium loop. The large one was a mistake. A misclick, but we'll see if it makes. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but let's just try. It'll be funny if it does. Your favorite, the Harpa. Really exciting. I can make it big. The chain lift through the loop is quite nice. There are a few IRL coasters that have it, I believe. And down we go. That loop got a lot of high G-forces. Okay, is 83 enough? Yes! That's the most ridiculous finish to a roller coaster. Oh, Valder would love this. A small loop there and a massive loop into a tiny turn. As I said, I didn't intend to do that, but it works. It makes it. We got pretty good stats on that. 8.6 intensity, 6.8 excitement. I never checked if the Virginia Reel was actually the new most nauseating ride. I predicted it would be, and I'm pretty sure it is, but let's do a little check. So I think it was this one, 5.9? Yes, 5.9. This one has 6.07. It's not much higher, but it's like, well, actually, the rotodrop. 10.4. Now that's high. We're charging 19.20 for it, and I believe, yeah, last year the price has already gone down once, so we can still charge 19.20. This is why the kids on RRCT have bad habits. I only do this on, but to be honest, I do the stream park show sometimes in the videos. Not that many people watch my streams though. Thing is, well, it's technically a bad habit. It's for the stats is fine. Not if you don't bank that, sir. No, it's a disaster. We're watching you for over a year. It's good to have you here. It works. It works, but I mean, Voltaire's right. It's not a good habit, but it works. I kind of expected to have lost too much speed, but yeah, we're going from 37.5 here to I think 24 here. Is it? Yeah, 24, 37.5. Find you through Cody Watkins. Ah yes, he's still making videos. He's a good fella. And immediately it's got a full queue line. To be honest, we do have quite a lot of guests for not that many rides, so the queue lines will be full. Which is good, because that means we'll make a lot of money. It'll be a disaster when the station brakes fail. To be honest, that will be a disaster on almost all of the rides I built, because I never bothered with doing good brake habits. Although they can't brake within the first 2 years. In RST1 it's different, they can, but in RST2 they can't. Station brakes can't in the first 2 years. It's still a shame that I did not cover the difference with RST1 in my breakdowns video. I just forgot. And I wish I had. Oh, we just beaten it. We needed 1,500 guests. I didn't even look at the goal. I'm not done with this park. We love a good boom. Yes, we do. Okay, time for a hoppa. I always find these steep points like that very ugly. They're kind of the most efficient way to do that stuff, but my god, they're ugly. So we're not going to do that today. I personally advocate for building the craziest, most deranged sub-10 intensity coaster one can get away with. You gotta go to the Giga coaster for that. You can absolutely wring everything out of it and still have less than 10 intensity. I mean, if you go to 63 drops, eventually it'll buckle and give you something extreme to work with. But you can easily make one with 40 drops and it'll be fine. Or make one go 300 kilometers an hour and it'll be fine. Not altogether though, you know, there's still a limit to what it can do. Speaking of limits, I have a feeling that one might be going a little bit fast there. Let's see. 60 is the limit for lateral G's in small turns. 56, okay, that's good. That works. Works very much. Tomorrow, I will release the new longest roller coaster called the Google Coaster. After 3 months of work, it's finally done. I mean, not 3 months of continuous work, but still. I'm gonna upload it tonight, finished rendering it for the 3rd time. Right before the stream started. And I hope you'll all like it. It's definitely the best longest coaster ever. It's also the most complicated and the longest video. Although I have a feeling that I might have overdone this a bit. Are we on 10 intensity? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's finish it. Hang on. Redo that one. Select it. How badly does it get against the universe coaster? What do you mean how bad? How much longer is it? Well, if you look logarithmically, you know, in a way that 1,000 is the same distance from 1 as 1,000 is from 1,000,000, because they're both factor 1,000, then the universe coaster is closer to 1 than it is to the Google coaster. So it's long. Another way of saying it more than doubles the amount of digits. Ooh, 9.87 intensity. I did. Well, that's quite a good coaster then. Just under 10. 7.89 excitement. Well, we can bump that up to 8. Oh, I like this orange mess of supports and log flume track. I went on a roller coaster recently and I felt it had 2 harsh laterals. Which one? Is it already 8 because of the Q line? No, not quite. Is it 8? Oops, didn't mean to do that there. Oh well. Is it 8 now? 7.96. Okay, that's actually out a bunch of bushes. I should already do it. Replace that bush with a bunch of power flats. Flower here. A flower there. And we are on 8.06 excitement. Would you look at that? What's the goal? We've beaten it. It's 1,500 guests. Okay, time to renew some rides to get more income out of them. Also, you should be inspected every 10 minutes. Oh god, my default... Why does my default keep going back? I haven't been to that old a version. I wonder which version it got set back to 10. I don't remember that happening earlier. I mean, the Panda one makes sense, because that one wasn't built by me, that was already there. $1.5k and he barely won. What do you mean barely? There was no deadline. I just needed to get 1.5k and was not allowed to ever let my park rating go below 700. I mean, it was the start of year 3 when we beat it, but it was not exactly the end of October. It was, I think, March 14. Alright, mini golf doesn't need to be inspected because it cannot break down. Okay, I think we've done all of them now. Except maybe the magic carpets? Yeah, no, not that one yet. That mini golf course is so cute. Why, thank you. Okay, we have a lot of monies. And we're only going to get more. This one's also doing really good money. Nearly 3,000 guests an hour. I think it's pretty close to already having earned itself back. I should do some right vehicle editor shenanigans. Just to see if it works. So, let's build a roller coaster. We'll take... yeah, why not Cyclone? Well, Cyclone's a bit big, isn't it? I like this one. It's a good pre-build. Well, that's not really why I picked it. It doesn't need to be good, it needs to be a thing that I can easily manipulate. Right, right vehicle editor. Let's see if I got any bugs with OpenJS. Where is it? Edit right vehicles. Where is it? Did I accidentally delete it? Yes, I don't have it. Well done. Oh, it's a zip file that I need to... It is in my folder, but it's a zip file. And then the .js file is in there. Why though? All the other ones were just .js downloads. And this one's a zip. Okay. Need to reload. There it is. Okay, now we're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna get train 2. And then just make it really... Hang on, and then we do vehicle 1. Vehicle 2. Make it really light. These all have slightly different weights, which is because of the guest weights. Yeah, and it got stuck. Well, that still works. Don't crash the game. I mean, that will be fine. I just saved. We have got all the save running anyway. Okay, so that's not the problem. Crash. Oops, I just exploded all the ducks. Oh well, we didn't have many anyway. I don't use this a lot though. I mostly use it sometimes to mess with the mass. This should... Well... Let's give it some better stats. I'm just mostly right now messing about to see if this all works. Lol. Minus. Does that work? Yes. What does that do? Minus 13 intensity. Do people ride it? Well, not in the rain, of course. Name it the game. Well, you guys have all just lost. This coaster cures nausea. You know, I don't know how it works. Negative nausea. Or negative intensity. I've never tried. I didn't know it was possible, to be frank. Okay, people are not going on it. Oh, that's because it's not safe. Hang on. Reset crash status. Now they all want more something more thrilling. Right, right. Because their intensity preference only starts from 0. It's not thrilling enough with minus 13 intensity. Disgusting state of path. What the hell do they mean? It's fine. It's fine. Holy vandalism. Did they just got flattened when they got vandalized apparently? Or is that just for the... No, that actually looks like that. Like it's a drink can or something, like one of those aluminum drink cans. You stomp on it to flatten it before throwing it away. Okay, let's make this slightly more thrilling so that guests will actually go on it. Edit right. Oh, wrong right. Also wrong right. Again, there we go. Minus 0.01. Yeah, they'll write that because, you know, they can up to 2 points outside of their range. Negative nausea is fine though, because the minimum nausea does not factor in. So, you know, we can have minus 150 nausea. It'll give them less happiness because it does not fall within the nausea preference. But the minimum nausea is not factored in whether they go on the ride. So they might have a nausea preference of between 4 and 10, which is what high corresponds to. They'll go on the ride from 0 to 10. Well, plus extensions of course, but for the satisfaction and the happiness they get from it, it counts from 4 to 10. So this one's not happy. Okay, let's see if this cures nausea. I don't think that would work, but let's just see. If we go to peep editor, and we'll make this one nauseous. So, nausea. That one, right? 687, yes. If it cures nausea, it should go down rather quick while on the ride. Okay, it's now high enough that we could see that effect. Let's oh. I can't un-nausea him. Because he's on a ride. Hang on, if I just do everyone nausea, no one nausea, does that work? Well, it's getting a lot of nausea. Nausea is still increasing, but not like the nausea thing. So I think this is still giving him nausea. I mean, look at how many people are sick. Yeah, that one just puked, and that's not 687. That one did not get any nausea, but it did have a high tolerance. So I'm not exactly sure how this works. But we do have a minus 151 nausea. Also plus 57 excitement. And that ends up as charging 1460 because the nausea, oh that's a massive reduction to maximum price. Although it feels like this should be way more than 1460 though. Because unless a Woody is different? Hang on, let me have a look. Yeah, no, because a wooden coaster gets 52 from excitement and only 8 from nausea. So, you know, the nausea is roughly triple the excitement but negative. Which should, but that should still only give half. So then you can like subtract roughly half the excitement rating. Which gets you to 25. And 25 excitement should easily be able to charge 20, even if we have another one. What does my calculator say? Maybe it all just... That's not my calculator. Maybe it all just bugs out when you... Oh, this doesn't... Mine doesn't work with negative numbers. Oh, oops. It does tell you which one's wrong by highlighting it. Which I think is a nice feature. Tigrisek, who I made this with, implemented that, not me. It was his idea. I mean, hang on. I have my own little calculator for this. On Google Sheets, so it should be able to work with it. Hang on. I'll just put it in. Where's my stats? There's my stats. So 57.41, 2.39 minus 151.01. And then it's a wooden coaster. I already got one in the park. Yeah, it says 3180. According to the formula, this should be 3180, not 1460. So something is going wrong with the negative numbers in OpenRCT2. Which makes sense. Well, it doesn't... I wouldn't say it necessarily makes sense if something goes wrong, but I'm not surprised. Let's put this back to a normal number. Let's see what we get if we do minus 32. What do we get now? Doesn't seem to update. If we do 0.99. Still doesn't update. Like, this should be way higher. It should have at least been changed. What do we give it? 34. Is it because they're frozen? Does the admission price not update if they're frozen or something? I think that's the cause. Yeah, because the admission price is probably also frozen then if you freeze the rating calculations. That must be it. We can also make it very old. So if we... 2400 years ago. I keep getting my headphone thing caught in between me and my chair, which alters the volume. This only goes back... Oh, we can go back much further. I have actually reached 100,000 years ago on a ride, which you'll see in tomorrow's video. Oh yeah, this doesn't go further than... you get minus 9,000. That doesn't go further than 32,000. I was about to fix that, but then I got stuck somewhere and then I got distracted by other stuff. I fixed that in one of my versions. Yeah, built 30,500 years ago. It's gonna lose reliability really fast. That happens if a ride is older than 8 years, let alone 30,000 years. Especially if you're the Flower Power ride, then you lose reliability ridiculously quickly. We're still advertising. We still lost guests though, because we had so many vomits. Now we got a few new vandalisms. I don't think we had a lot of vandals walking around because there was nothing to vandalize, and people can only turn into vandals if they can vandalize something. So for a while, most of the things were vandalized, so there was nothing new to vandalize. So even though we had a lot of pukies and unhappy guests, we got no vandals. Now I wonder how it works if you make another one from the future. Pretty sure it just says built this year if you do that. We can try. Edit ride vehicles. Because I've done that before. By building a ride and then resetting the date. So if we make this September... Or make this September year 8. Yeah, just this year. As if it is 0 months old. Does my thing 24,000 months the game? Yeah, it does say minus 41 here, so mine can actually read it. It's just that we'll have a formatter they use for this only doesn't go negative, so it gets stuck at 0. But if you just read the number of months, that is stored as a negative number. That does work. It does not it does not highlight the correct price. It does charge 720, but if this says negative, I should change it so that it highlights the first one. But yeah, without cheats, this goes negative, of course. I did not take that into account as a possibility. I did not think of that. I don't really think anyone uses that plugin. It was fun building it. I have used it sometimes for videos. But I don't think it's been a rousing success. People just use the price manager instead anyway. I use the right price calculator plugin routinely. You do! That makes me happy. Is it because you find the right price manager, the price manager, too cheaty? I should remember to update it if new rights get added. Pretty sure the Alpine's already in here? Yes, Alpine Coaster's in here, so no new rights have been added since I did this. But everything's hard-coded. So it does read some things, you know, it reads the excitement rating, the intensity rating, nausea rating, whether you have multiple in the park and whether you charge for park entrance. That it's reads, but all the info, like what all the stat multipliers or stat values are for all the rides and which yard types exist, that's all hard-coded. This it reads as well, of course. I like to play parks with hybrid revenue models. That is something that the price manager can do. You know, RCT1, which is the hybrid stuff, charge for rides, park entry, or both. I would love to have a framework whereby you can have a single staff member that does this kind of thing. Like there's a page for it in the staff menu and everything. It's kind of like the park inspector who physically walk around your park in RCT3. It makes recommendations of price changes on rides. The more you pay, the more frequently it will make recommendations and the more accurate they'll be. That's a fun idea. Doesn't that option only work with original RCT1 scenarios? Maybe. I don't really ever use it. That's a good teaching method, yeah, Valder. Okay, we got mountains of money now. Let's try the World Painter plugin. Well, there goes a lot of our money. But look at that, we got a mountain. Last time I used it, there were more options. Doesn't this... There's something very wrong here. A lot of icons are missing. I don't know if that's caused by the quick... Okay. If that's caused by QuickJS or... Well, let's have a look. Save game. We'll just quickly revert to the previous version. Let's see if it works there. If it does, then we know of a problem. So, World Painter. Well, I found a bug. And I'm pretty sure this is an actual bug. Because there's all the options that I said there were more options. Well, there they are. Okay, let's go back to this version. Now let's watch the options suddenly be there. Like, the Explode Guests one suddenly seemed to work. Nope. Well, that is definitely This makes it smooth. You know, I never used this plugin, so I don't really know what the other... Where are half the options? Oh, that's just that. Okay, let me write that down. World Painter missing options. I've written down Force Visualizer. I've already forgotten what the problem was with that, so maybe I should have written that down. I said I would remember, but maybe it was just the fact that when you pick a ride, the picker doesn't disappear if you close the window, but... You know, I've forgotten what the problem with the Force Visualizer is. Does anyone remember? Oh, it was the lag with this. Yes, yes, yes. I should test that. I haven't tested it yet in both versions, but I should test for that. The park is quite well known. Oh, brave handyman. Thank you for the sub, Serenetic. Quite like that this goes right in between the two lakes. It's like this was perfectly made for a path bridge. Well, bridge. A path over that land bridge. Look at that. That is lovely. Is a bridge over land still a bridge? Could be called a viaduct. What is the difference between a bridge and a viaduct? Duck separator bridge. Yeah, it does separate ducks. I think bridge can be over land. Intuitively, I would say the same. Viaduct is a type of bridge. Okay, but what kind of type? What makes something a viaduct and not just a bridge? Lots of little segments. Hang on, I'll just Wikipedia viaduct. A viaduct is a bridge that consists of a series of arches, piers or columns supporting a long elevated railway or road. Typically a viaduct connects 2 points of roughly equal elevation, allowing direct overpass across a wide valley, road, river or other low-lying terrain features and obstacles. Okay, so it's supporting a long elevated railway or road. And it's got a series of things. So this is a viaduct. That's a viaduct. That's a very famous viaduct. I remember driving past this while it was being constructed in 2004, I think. That's a series of columns. Is that a viaduct? That's a lovely viaduct. Hang on, where's that other one? That is technically a viaduct. When a viaduct is built across land rather than water. The space below maybe use a business as a car parking, blah blah blah. Okay, what's the definition of a bridge? A bridge is a structure designed to span an obstacle such as a river or valley, allowing vehicles, pedestrians and other loads to pass across. Most bridges consist of a flat deck supported by beams, arches or cables. These structures rest on a foundation that is carefully designed to transfer the weight of the bridge to the subsoil without settling. Makes sense. The viaduct is the brick structure over the businesses. Wait, what? Did I miss that? Oh, that. I was like, is that little thing a viaduct? That's a bridge. No, you're right. That's the viaduct. Okay, that was an interesting crash. I think we've had a Harpin crash and we've had... Is this broken down? Yes. We've had a Harpin crash and we've had a Virginia Rue crash, and I think both of those are full cars catching up to empty cars. Ripper park rating, is that fully from ride crashes? Yes. Minus 300. Oh, that people are not too happy either. Is there a lot of puke? Surely not, because I got a million handyman. No, it's just crowded. Yeah, it's just overcrowded. That's easily solved. There will be a confusing stream to walk in on, I imagine, especially for someone who isn't familiar with RCT. The background sound effects of RCT with the visuals for Google search result of a bridge. Yeah, I do like that though. Whenever we get to something interesting, just see what Wikipedia says, see what Google says, what websites we can find. Yeah, too crowded here. Lots of people are thinking that. But now they're going to be happier. Let's see how quickly it takes effect. Oh yes, very quickly. You can see it increase. 1800 now. You know, I found that entertainers are... I think, if I interpreted the code correctly, I need to look at it again, but I'm pretty sure that entertainers are random. Because you see them walk around and every now and then they do a thing. Either they wave or they do a bigger kind of trick. Like the snowball, fondling his balls and playing with them and stuff like that. It's those tricks that entertain the guests and boost their happiness. And the chance that they do a trick, that's not on a clock or a timer. It's just that every time the pathfinding algorithm for entertainers goes, there's, I believe, 25% chance they do a trick, something like that. So sometimes there's a bit of a bigger gap in between, sometimes there's a smaller gap in between. And what I was thinking I should do is add a stat here, guests entertained, that has a number, because every time it does its little thing, you could I think, just count the number of guests that are in the little 3x3 area that it affects. Because you gotta increase their happiness anyway. No, not acts performed. I think guests entertained, because that's what it's doing, right? In the same vein that security guards have a vandals stopped. Now that is an open RCT2 thing. Vandal stopped doesn't exist in RCT1 or 2 vanilla. Now these, for the mechanic, rights inspected and fixed, and also all the ones for the handyman, those do exist in vanilla. But Vandal stopped not. So if you can count that, surely you can count guests entertained. Why not both? I mean, yeah, why not both? Acts performed, guests entertained. So I could probably do that. I think. Now, I do have to find the time and motivation to actually try it. It's quite a bit useless. I did use the vandal stop for the security guards to get the most amount of guests per hour on anything. Like the highest amount of per hour. And I'll show you. Because I have a video for that. See if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. Bits. Okay, yeah, so here I go on about, you know, it starts about the first aid room, and then the first aid room goes up very quickly. You see? On in the 14,900, and it goes up very quickly. And here it goes up even more quickly. 300,000 guests an hour. And then I'm like, handyman, no, it doesn't really work. Security guards though. So here you can already see vandal stopped increase. Because the guest is trying to vandalize it every time. And this is how quickly it increases. And that... Oh yeah, here I had to speed it up. This footage is sped up 84.5 times because it lagged a lot. And that... is... I made it do more than 50 million jobs an hour. This minimum and maximum depends on the energy of the guests. The faster they walk, the more often they try to brake. So it's exactly a factor 4. I think. Well, doesn't seem to be quite exactly a factor 4, but close enough. Hey, T West, welcome. We were actually building a park. That's what you were hearing. That was just an old video of mine that we're watching at to see a security guard do a lot of stuff at the same time. How was your stream? Presumably. I have a guess for which game you were playing. I have a vague feeling you like playing Age of Empires. Just a hunch. But welcome everyone. How you doing? If you just had one more person, you would have been 69. If you had one fewer person, you would have been 67. Just in between two good numbers. I think you can guess. Probably, yeah. This, by the way, is Panda Park, which is the only, I think, the only official downloadable park for RST2. And it introduces the Panda scenery theme. So it is official. It's only got 3 items, which is the Panda bin, as you can see here. The Panda, which has a thick booty. And the bamboo chute. Is it called that? Bamboo something. Bamboo shoes, yeah. So it's a bit weird. Oh, you got the Panda trains, which is not scenery, but you do get them. Panda trains for the junior cars, and we reversed them. Because, why not? But it's a bit weird. But it does exist. Until I play it. 6-7 is a bad number. No, it's not. It's a good number. 6-7. I am hip with the kids. How do you do, fellow teenagers? Fellow high schoolers? I'm still hip. And yeah, we were testing out plugins because there's been an update to how plugins work, and we need to check if they're all still working, and they're not all working, but it's fine. Oh, and this ride is built 30,500 years ago. Because why not? Aw. Hang on. I need to put a handyman in between, in here. Your only job is to water gardens. We can also just wait for rain, I guess. That also waters the gardens. But that's not as consistent. So, we're not gonna do that. It's a shame that this scenario doesn't have a lot of scenery, a lot of ride options. Have we researched everything now? Yes. What's the last thing we researched? That was on the 9th of May. So in less than 2.5 years we ran out of research. That's a tiny research tree. Marcel Vos is a duck misused. He likes to explode them. What does that mean? I do like to explode ducks. Hang on, we can do that. We first need to spawn a few. But what does it mean I'm a duck misused? Yeah, we got a bunch of ducks. And more ducks. And unfortunately this doesn't give a sound, but it's quite satisfying. Misuser, ah yes. I remember the good old times of 30,495 before the birth of Park. Yes. How can you misuse a duck? Well, exploding it. Or they didn't consent to me doing that. That's why they're quacking. You know, it's also a fun one. Which now seems to work properly again. That's not very good for our ride income, killing a lot of guests. But it is fun. So there's that. It feels like a perfect, really valid use for a duck. Cooking them. Well, only if they consented. Otherwise, it's cannibalism. Because how far are you really removed from a duck? Like, if eating a human is cannibalism, then eating a duck is cannibalism. In my opinion, anyway. We're all vertebrates. I see explosions, I assume those are people. Now, what worries me is that your mind goes straight through that, to that. You're right, but it still worries me. If the duck consents, is it vor? It's only vor if the eaten object lives. And if I eat a duck, it's not coming out of the other end alive. If it is, that would be painful for me. I don't think it strictly has to live. Doesn't? I mean, to be honest, I'm not that well versed on that very specific content. So, I'm not the expert here. Can we talk about anything else? Oh, we got another raid! Oh, we can talk about that. I really hope this raid got a few of those words. That would be a hell of a thing to join on a raid. Oh, welcome, a raving loon and friends. How you doing? We got 2 raids in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I just made a pirate ship very fiery. But yeah, we're playing Panda Park, which... Is it called Panda Park? Panda World, close enough. We're playing Panda World, which is the way you get the panda scenery in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. It's an official scenario. And the main thing I just noticed about this panda is that they got the massive juicy buttocks. Just the juiciest in the world. Look at that crack. I just made the ship very fiery as classical era Navy tactics. Isn't that what they still do? You launch your rocket at it and presumably that results in some fire. Maybe it's not very fiery, a little bit fiery. Doesn't have to be, it could just be a big hole and then you get water in it and then it'll sink. It works. To be honest, I'm no naval warfare expert, so don't listen to me. Just a bit singed. Yeah, that should be enough to bring a ship down. Which is juicier, the ass of the panda or Sline's ass? Well, don't tell Sline, but the panda wins every time. I mean, pandas are inherently sexy anyway, so, you know. That does help. I do find it hilarious that sometimes in zoos they don't manage to get panda babies because the pandas just are too lazy to get it on. And then they pull out all of the tricks in the world they can to make the pandas do it. Like dressing up as a panda and trying to get the pandas in the mood and all that kind of stuff. It's hilarious that that's like it's someone's job to do that. Come on, here's 3 mods. I think the only mod we have on is Valder, and I don't think he really does quotes. There's even panda porn. Yes. I've heard of that. I've not watched it. I don't think you can find that online. I think they only show that to the pandas. Not that I would have watched it if you can find it online. I have not searched. Well, they're assigned out of the Vorcon when the Vorcon will happen, so I don't blame them for not quoting any of it. That's fair. Yes. You're also not a targeted audience. I don't know if you would appreciate it. Well, if anything, I would just be curious what it actually is. Not for any kind of sexual enjoyment, of course, but just what does it mean? What do they show the pandas? You can't tell me what I can and cannot like. Oh, I'm not judging you. Well, a little bit maybe. But we all judge each other. That is such an easy way to add a lot of wishes. You know what, this looks like quite a decent jungle. I'm not unhappy with that. I don't know why I built a jungle here. Looks a bit out of place. But I built one. Should give this a jungle entrance. Little jungle roof. And the jungle entrance. Oh god, it's starting to look quite jungly already. Oops. There we go. Now a little wooden stake fence. Wooden post, sorry. Now it really starts to look good. I said earlier that I don't fancy the rock styles too much, but this is good. This is rock style 2. It is really good. Okay, fire next to some wooden post. That's a good idea, isn't it? A greenish paint job for the theme. I like the blue. It's nice. It contrasts with the jungle well. It's a bit like the blue Morpho butterfly, which is from the outside it looks kind of brownish, greenish, whatever, something that just blends in. But then when a predator gets close, because it spots it anyway, then it can open its wings and it's very bright blue, which might, that's what it's supposed to do, scare off the predator. And if it works, it's brilliant. If it doesn't work, the butterfly gets eaten anyway. They're doing quite a good job of mowing. We don't, we have a little bit of tall grass, but everything that's not tall grass here, like all this just normal flat grass, has been mown. Otherwise it would have been tall grass if it was never mown. So there's a few bits here that are either mown a long time ago or never been mown. I don't think these are ever gonna be mown. The very top of the mountain. No, we don't have a lot of tall grass, which is a good job, handyman. Very, very good job. Still a waste of money. Like, doesn't do anything other than satisfy our eyes. I own some dice made of labradorite. Are they made of Labradors? Is labradorite a material made from Labradors? It's a brown-grey stone that shimmers with a blue tint. Again, is that stone made of Labradors? Hang on, let me Google it. I'm on the scene now. Labradorite. Oh, that looks pretty. I can buy that. Like, can I buy this for 38 bucks? That's not very expensive. I should buy a good stone. I don't have any good stones in my house. I have a lot of plushies, a lot of fake plants, and a few real ones that I should take better care of. But I have no good stones. This is beautiful. So yeah, I can understand why you like those dice. I had to personally send 12 dogs through a blender. Now I understand why you're so happy, and why your name is Captain Cadaver. Well, I do think we have reached the end of the stream. There are 4 plugins that I should look at. Well, one I already know. The World Painter has missing options. Look at this. Just missing. And there are one that was, I think, not working, but it seems to work fine now. I think I just looked at it wrong. And there are 2 that have lag issues I should look at. Your house is made of stones. Yeah, but they're not in my house. My walls are not in my house. Well, some interior walls are, I guess, but I don't think those are made of stones. Maybe 1 or 2 are. Either way, this is the end of the stream. Apologies to the raiders, but you did come in late. So I'm gonna see who I can send you to. Oh, Max is playing, and Roller Coaster Tycoon. Oh, he's voting on a wooden coaster contest. Well, that's fun. I'll send you over to Max. He's voting on a wooden coaster contest. Presumably Dirklink's won. I don't know anyone else who hosts the contest. So I'll send you over to him. He's currently looking at a nice bumbly beach. I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you again on Sunday. On Easter Sunday, I will live stream. And I bid thee a good and a bye. See you later. Bye bye. Have fun at the raid.